I already know this is going to be a very, very good race.
It's me, Mario. Hello. Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Looks like we're starting. Both of our runners on English version. So nothing immediate to say about that right now, because English version, we both know that at the very beginning that it's all very even. There's no version differences going on right now.
Okay, so we're coming up on one of the first tricks in this run. It's called Lakitu Skip, in which you are going to long jump on the very edge of a bridge to skip the loading zone for Lakitu, so you save about 7 seconds.
Absolutely.
It seems as if Bobby has barely missed Lakitu Skip, which will again cost him about 7 seconds, giving people lead.
Looks like it, yep.
So as we enter Bomb-Omb Battlefield for the first time, you're going to notice the runners are going to find their way to this Bomb-Omb and do a special trick called Bomb Clip, in which you're going to throw and catch the bomb at a precise frame to give you backwards momentum, pushing you through the cage.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard beginner clip to see who will have the fucking initial clip to see who will be ahead. Looks like Peter Ford is already ahead of Bobby J. It's based on bomb clip and the way he clips instead of fence and the ground pound otherwise. Looks like Pete has he's established a steady point ahead of Bobby J.
And as you can see, there's going to be some routing differences here, which doesn't save that much time. It's more of a preference type thing, in which Pete's actually going to go for
Womps 9.
Yeah, he's going to be going for the slide star before entering Womps. Most runners would go for Womps just because it's a reset heavy stage, but since this is a race, he has nothing to lose.
Exactly, yep. It's just a free 1 second for Peter Ford right here.
So Bobby Jean just got this star we're going to refer to as cannonless. Normally you're supposed to use the cannon to blast away a chunk of the wall, so to speak, and grab the star, but using a precise movement and positioning found by Sock Folder, you can actually grab the ledge of the wall to grab the star.
Absolutely. Bobby J is doing really great so far. Getting that cannonless setup.
So what Pete just did is called Owlless, in which you're going to do a very precise triple jump wall kick. Triple jump. Yeah, sorry.
Exactly.
So
if he's able to get cannonless right here, he would be quite a bit ahead of Bobby J, just due to the sheer fact that he was able to do Owlless and able to do cannonless, and that would overall just be able to get him ahead of Bobby J. So if Pete right here gets the cannonless, he will be at a very good position. And he gets it. So Pete's looking really good right now. Bobby J's looking very consistent right now. It's a very good race, even in Womp's Fortress right now. But they're able to really pull ahead of each other. Bobby J going for Womp's 100 right now, half cycle. Pete's going for pro cycle right now. It's a very good race. Absolutely. Looks like Bobby J will have to settle for the half cycle, and Pete's about to get his own half cycle right here. Ledge grab, skip, jump dive. He's looking good right now. It's a very good race. Good race.
Yeah, and anytime they lose, especially this early on, and even more so in a race, can be easily gained between the two runners. It can flex. The timing can be flexible throughout the whole race because, again, you can't reset, so you have to take whatever you get.
Absolutely.
Here we go! Here we go!
So both runners successfully completing WAP's 100+ reds, a really technical and movement-based star in this stage, so that's really good. Most of your resets are actually going to happen during this stage just because of not only how early it is, but of course the technicality for each of your tricks.
Definitely, yeah. Owlless, Cannonless, they're a very good sort of entering trick to be able to tell like when you're gonna reset, especially if you're trying to go for LBLJ. Then it's a whole nother different story where you're gonna be resetting a whole lot more. So Wom's Fortress, JRB, they're a very good telling stage where you're gonna be able to reset a lot more and show that the beginning of the run is very important to what you're going to be able to get for a very good run.
Yeah, and he's referencing 16 star, which is not 16 star, sorry, 120 star, which is one of the most random categories in this game, or the most sought after. A lot of the correlation between the two, there's a lot of correlation between the two categories, but in 70 star, you actually don't even enter Jolly Roger Bay.
Yeah. But even right now, it's looking like the runners are still right now at a very good distance between each other, where Peter Ford is about to be entering Dark World, where Ozzy is very close to, or not Ozzy, Bobby J is very close to be entering to Bowser in the Dark World.
Yeah, so because of the routing difference at the beginning of the run, Pete's going to be entering the slide again, but he's only going to do it one time, while Bobby J is going to have to do it twice.
It's looking good so far, you know. I think that it's a very good, interesting, close race so far between Bobby J and Peter Ford.
Here we go!
So Pete now entering Dark World, another really technical stage. Never mind. I don't know routes apparently. Pete entering Wing Cascade, which again is another technical stage. There's only one star in it, but you have to have optimal flight movement to be able to get all the red points and not have to go back around.
You know, Ozzy, I think this is a really, this is a very good part of the run to be able to compare both of the runners' movement, and specifically movement optimization right here, because right after Dark World and CCM is where the routes, they start to differ, you know. Some people take CCM 17, some people take CCM 18, some people, you know, their HMC routes start to differ, you know. Some people do Toxic Maze, some people don't. I think this is a very good point to start to talk about different paces in people's routes, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with differing skill levels, the routes can vary a lot. Just yesterday, one of the races I was commentating, or maybe it was the day before, I'm not quite good with memories, but I've seen new routes during this tournament that I've never seen before, new stars I've never seen anyone grab, so it's definitely interesting and eye-opening for the entire Mario community as a whole.
It's amazing to watch, actually, because there's some very slight route differences that makes for some very different PBs, even different PB potential, just from sheer route differences, and it's really interesting to watch for me.
So some stutters and mistakes from Pete in the Dark World. the difference between these two runners is not a lot. I mean, it's definitely easily caught up. It could be easily caught up. Red Coin's, again, a very technical star in this stage.
We see Bobby J going for the jump dive over the pipe for this, just based on how his wall kicks go off the route in Dark World. And we see Peter Ford taking a slight lead over Bobby J. Gets the throw. Bobby J gets a good throw too. And we'll see how. See here, the route difference really make a difference here, because we're gonna see maybe either of them go for CCM 17, maybe CCM 18, and this is the exact point where we're gonna see people start to make a route difference, a route change. Because I know Peter likes to make a CCM 17 route, and I'm not sure about Bobby J, whether he likes to complete the Penguin race or take also the CCM 17 route. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and Bobby J doing the wing cap start after Dark World, I thought was an interesting choice in routing. So Pete now entering Snowman's Land. My apologies, Cool Mountain. It's going to be interesting again what route choice he does here.
I'm assuming he's gonna go for the wall kick star. Wall kicks will work. I'm assuming he's gonna go for that as the first star.
Yes, he is. You might want to refresh your string. You're a little bit behind.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. You're fine. So near perfect execution of wall kicks will work. He used one of the harder strategies. That's a bit faster. It's also really appealing to watch. It's pretty satisfying.
Yeah, he got it really well on that run. We're seeing him taking a good, healthy lead. You know, a nice, consistent, very well done wall kicks will work strat from Peter Ford. I like it.
Not quite sure what Bobby J is doing right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's in BOB right now. I'm not sure what strat he's going for here.
For a moment, I thought he was going to do Island Hop, and then okay, I think he just forgot to get the wing cap.
Oh, yeah, this is looking very messy here. But
yeah, definitely nourished in the race.
This is still this is a fine strat to go for if he took the wing cap and he jump kicked over the let. He's not doing that. He's going for Island Hop, but with a very healthy movement. Oh, okay.
Yeah, again, you're a little bit behind. He went back down and went to wing cap, and then basically did the Island Hop strat, but with wing cap, because I'm assuming he either didn't feel comfortable with going for the momentum off the slope, or he hasn't practiced it or hasn't learned it yet.
That's definitely a little place where you can lose time, but you can't count him out yet, because there's still plenty much to go for, and you never know what can happen with these basement levels. You know, you have SSL, you have Plus, you have Lava Boost, you have all these sort of different strats. You have even certain strats upstairs where you can have certain things going wrong. So this is still a very healthy race going on.
It seems like Pete did go for a CCM 17, which basically means he's going to sorry. Really a more mainstream route would be to get 18 stars in CCM and then not go for the Reds and Tall Mountain. Tiny Huge Island, not Tall Mountain. My apologies. So only 2 stars from BBH, a very fast and relatively easy stage.
Yeah. Haven't be seen really any big issues coming from Peter Ford here because he's you know, he's done a lot of 7-year runs. He knows the book star and the boost star in BBH. You shouldn't have many major problems here. And the big issue we'll see here with Peter is that he's gonna come up to SSL and try to do the pillarless star, and that'll really make or break his run here compared to Bobby J.
Now, Bobby J just did an interesting strategy on the slide star in CCM that I can't say I've ever seen before. I'm assuming what he's now going to do is go for the Penguin star plus 100 coins, while Peter Ford enters SSL.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Bobby J will either not do Toxic Maze, that star, or he either not do TikTok Clock 100 coin, based on this route right here that he's trying to do.
So SSL coming from Peter Ford, a very technically demanding stage. Assuming he does pillarless, you'll see one of the hardest tricks I think in this game. Of course, after grabbing MIPS.
Let's see what Peter Ford does here. If he grabs it, yep, he does. So the thing with Peter Ford here is that you'll need to see whether he is able to get pillarless right now or whether or not, because it's a very important trick. You waste a bunch of time if you get it. If you get medium bomb or small bomb and you're not able to recover it, we'll have to see what Peter Ford does here.
And it looks like he did get pillarless. So trying to explain that trick in the layman's terms and without, to be completely honest, I can't do it. So, but basically, you're going to want to do like the same trick we saw in Bomb Clip at the beginning of the run, but you want to grab it at a certain time so the lava to boost yourself up to a place you would have to get to otherwise.
Yeah, elevator star, where it's he's gonna go for a triple jump right here. It's gonna save a couple seconds, and he's looking like he has a healthy lead right now versus Bobby J. He's looking pretty good. Let's see if Bobby J gets the MIPS grab right here. He does. And we'll see how his SSL strats line up versus Peter's. And we'll see if, you know, he can close the gap between him and Peter, because it's looking like Peter's getting a slightly better lead right now.
Yeah, Bobby J missing his first attempt at the triple jump over the sand hill. I'm assuming he's not going to do pillarless because of his routing choices prior to. So he's most likely going to use shell, which again is still dangerous because if you break the shell, you can lose a massive amount of time. You can also die doing it. Fully air I would, but I lost my Raise Fire subscription. So as I predicted, Bobby J going for the shell start, and he does indeed break the shell, so he's going to have to go through each pillar individually.
That is a very debilitating thing to have to go through, because Bobby J is already behind. He's going to have to... he's looking like he's in trouble right now.
Yeah, he did end up dying in the quicksand, so he's going to have to redo that star, making the lead between the two greater. And well, he almost went for the pyramid star. That would have been an interesting upset. So, oh no, he went for Tower. I've never seen that before. That is actually a really decent strategy. Huh.
If he was slightly a bit faster, he could have made it for... Yeah. Let's see if he gets the bird star here.
So Peter Ford just flying through Hazy Maze Cave. Not a very challenging stage for, especially in 70 star for a runner of his skill level. But one of the Trixie might have to watch out for is box jump, because though it is decently consistent, there's always you can always mess it up. It's not really 100% safe. And he does seem to miss it the first time, but does not. Oh, and he broke the box the second time. That's going to lose a bit of time, and he'll have to go for elevator skip. Never mind, he's going for Christmas Miracle. I'm done.
It's still looking pretty close here because of, you know, I think Bobby J could have gone for a much safer, slightly faster strat here for the getting all the pillars complete for the star. But we'll see how it goes. It's still pretty close. It's not really close until the very end of TP, you know. Some people go for TTC 100, some people don't. It's a very high variance strat, you know. Some people die at the very end. It can cause a lot of upsets and sort of crazy situations. But Peter's looking very good right here in the triple jump dive on the box for HMC. He's looking like he's very much gathering a very nice lead.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we keep referring to a star called TTC 100s, which is the 100 coin star in the last stage you enter in this run. Optimally, you want to complete it in around a minute, and it's really hard. So,
yeah, at this point of the tournament, you know, you could see as very much as a 30-second, 1 minute lead over one person of another in the TTC 100 star. You know, you never know what kind of crazy stuff. It's a very high variance star where you could see some sort of very high variance action happening for somebody where they could just die at the end of TTC 100 and create a whole different situation.
Yeah, and Bobby J did end up dying trying to collect the Boil the Big Bully star, which, again, I can't judge him because I don't think I can collect that star. But, I mean, Lethal Lava Land especially, if you get hit once by the lava, there's not much flexibility. You have twice, exactly. You're dead.
Once you miss the Bully star, it's very hard to try to, you know, back it up. It's a very different. A lot of the Lava Land stars, you kind of have to finish the stars in one try, or you have this sort of really high variance kind of luck or no luck situations you have with these stars. So it's a very it's one of the highest variance stages that you have in Super Mario 64 as Lava Land, where you have to just pray to God that you get the kind of RNG that you're hoping for.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Peter is now entering Dire Docks, which is not really RNG based, but it's a very laggy stage. So you'll see him using Mario Camelot to reduce that lag. He's also going for the chest star first because he doesn't want the sub to go away. So he doesn't want to have to go further to the DDD entrance. He does collect that star, and the tornado in the middle can be very dangerous, especially for new runners, because if you go into it, you kind of die and have to redo the star.
DDD is a very sort of make it or break it stage where if you slightly mess up your DDD chest star, you can just suddenly find yourself making it into that vortex in the middle, and then you suddenly lost a minute to this star that's very free. And it's a DDD is a very make it or break it stage where there's a lot of even you see the star Peter's doing right here. Depending on how you make your way into the DDD subs wing, you can also find your way. You know, you can make a lot of mistakes here. He's gonna jump right here. Hopefully he side flips. It's looking good. Peter knows what's good.
Okay, so Peter now going from one of the most trolly stars in this entire game, the Mana Ray star. So if you miss the first ring, you're pretty okay. But if you miss a ring after that, the ring pattern is so awful that it's really hard to track. He does seem to get it first try though.
If you miss any of the rings in the beginning, you kind of have to like slow swim through the next few rings and hope that you have a succession of 5 rings that's good enough to be able to get the mana ring, the mana ray to give you the star. But sometimes people just happen to go through 4 rings and then fuck up the last one, and then you sort of have this issue on your hands where you have to go through 5 more or 4 more in the beginning, and it's just kind of, it's a make or break star.
Bobby J opting out of Lava Boost, going for the easier yet slower strat. He is now entering HMC, while Peter is now in Fire Sea, another technically demanding stage. Missing the coin or missing a cycle in this stage can cost a lot of time.
Yeah, Peter's looking like he has a healthy lead here. If he gets the normal cycle in Fire Sea, then he's looking like he has a very good lead. And we'll see how he does here. Peter Ford managed to get a really good normal cycle, you know. He gets the 7th red, 8th red, and we'll see him in Bowser in the Fire Sea very soon.
Yes, so this Bowser throw, especially during races, you can get a little bit nervous, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can nail this throw. And he does miss the throw, which again, I can't judge. I missed that throw 3 times in my 16-star PB. But
the throw is pretty hard, just based on nerves, because you're already like halfway through the run. And so the Fire Sea throw can be very nervous because you miss it, and even though you miss it, you still have to wait for Bowser to do the whole animation where he tilts the whole stage, and it's a big time waste compared to Dark World.
So Bobby opting for elevator clip rather than box jump or the triple jump over the roof. So with Peter now heading into Wet Dry World, this is another technical stage, and this stage is actually wherever you enter the painting determines how low or high the water starts. So he's going to always try, most of the time he's going to want to enter the painting low. He's now going for 100 coins plus secrets. I believe the route he is doing, he can only miss 1 coin. So it should be interesting to see how this marks up.
This is one of the most mechanics intensive levels, because the fact that you can only miss 1 coin if you're doing, it's a very good route. It's a very telling how their Wet Dry World is going to go based on how this specific star goes, because it's very movement intensive, it's very RNG incentive based on how you get that coin, whether you miss a coin on this route. This is a very good point in the 70-star route to tell how a race is going to go. It's right here. And Peter Ford looks like he's doing good. He doesn't look like he's missing too many coins. Bobby J's about to make his way into DDD. You can't tell Bobby J's out of the race yet because there's still a very healthy amount to go ahead. Upstairs and Tippy are a very hard part of a 70-star run in general, you know.
And Peter did unfortunately miss too many coins and had to go for the box star.
The box, yeah.
Not the box star, my apologies. Yeah, the box with the coins. So now Bobby is going to go for the chess star in DDD. Another technically demanding star, especially for a new runner or someone who might not be a new runner, just isn't very good at swimming at me.
Yeah, the DDD chess star is very punishing because it's very, it's not only movement intensive, but the angle you kind of set yourself for when you hit a certain chest, it can very well punish you for if you make a certain mistake on the angle you touch the chest in DDD. It can set you back for 5 seconds, 6, 7 seconds, based on how you recover. And you really see Bobby J struggling with it right here, the very last chest. There he goes. He gets the angle. He'll be able to get the star.
Here we go!
So Peter only going for one more star in Wet Dry World. While, pardon me. While Bobby's now going for the sub-star.
Looks like Bobby is actually going for the rings in DDD, which is not a very... usually when you see routes for 70 star, you don't really see people going for the rings in DDD in Dar Dar Docks, because it's a very much slower star than a lot of these stars you see in standard 70 routes. But you know, it's very slow, but it's very you can still contend with certain slow substitutions in this kind of route. So you shouldn't count Bobby J out of the race yet, but we'll have to see how Peter does here in THI, because Secrets is a very important star. It's very movement intensive. You're gonna have to see how Peter does here. He gets the 4th secret. Let's see if he gets the long jump. He does.
Here we go! Go!
You know, it seems like it's a very catch-up race, but it's not, because the thing about Super Mario 64 is that when you get upstairs, when you get to Tippy, which is Rainbow Ride, TTC 100, TTC Bowser in the Sky, it gets very sort of competitive. There's a lot of chokes, there's a lot of small movement variations that that really create this sort of issue in Tippy, where different players have a very close time difference-wise, just based on strats in Tippy, based on you know, movement differences, based on all those types of things. You can't really count anybody else out yet at this point, is what I'm trying to say. Now we'll see here if Bobby J tries to get the if he tries to get normal cycle. He's looking like he's on pace at this point. We'll have to see if he gets to normal cycle. Very strange, kind of unique movement we see here from Bobby J, trying to get to normal cycle. I think he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it with plenty of time here.
Yes, I know I'm unprofessional, but I have returned. So, as Bobby makes his way through Fire Sea, we have Peter and Tall Tall Mountain. Tall Tall Mountain's a really interesting stage. It's somewhere between really fun and really annoying, depending on your routing and how good you are at it.
Definitely, yeah. Tall Tall Mountain is very make or break stage, especially with like a very high skill cap players trying to make their way through Tall Tall Mountain. It's a very make or break kind of stage. And upstairs, Tall Tall Mountain and Snowman's Land, they're very make or break stages for people, especially in the high skill cap, 49, 48 level players, you know, very high skill cap. You find that the more the RNG intensive stage there is, that the more the players have to just pray that their upstairs goes well.
Yeah, and Bobby doing an interesting route for the Reds at the end of the Fire Sea, but ultimately gets the star. He's going to be entering the Bowser stage. The Bowser fight, my apologies. So Peter's going for Reds and Tall Tall Mountain now. This star is, again, you're either really good at it or you're really not. It's also very laggy, so he's going to be doing a variety of lag reduction strategies, as you'll see right there.
Yeah, you'll see Peter right here. He never goes into C down a single time. He's permanently stuck in C up, and what that does is that it helps him lag reduce, because if you go and C down a single time in TTM Reds, it'll just lag you out. And you're losing valuable frames to Tall Mountain, which is what you do not want to do. So you see Peter here, he's got a very good philosophy towards TTM, where he stays in C up during Reds, and he's very he does very well in that star, not losing a lot of frames to lag.
Yeah, and Peter going for his last star in TTM as Bobby enters Wet Dry Road. Going for an interesting route with 100 coins. I haven't seen this before, so I don't really know how to commentate it, but I'll try my best. Skipping the boxes at the beginning and skipping the spider there is very interesting. I'm assuming he's going to go for the other boxes with the coins in them, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, this is it's a standard Wet Dry World 100 plus secrets route, but he seems to have a sort of issue with the beginning. So maybe he forgot that he was doing Wet Dry World plus secrets, because it seems like in the beginning he was going for a Wet Dry World plus Reds route. So that's why you see him kind of scramble for these coins, and you see him here. He's gonna finish the last secret. Maybe just a sort of a brain fart by Peter Ford, because you know when he does 120 star runs, he's very used to doing Wet Dry World 100 plus Reds. So maybe this is a sort of a retribution of some sort. Slight mistakes. Oh my god. Peter Ford, I don't know what he's doing. I think he wants a few... It's very apparent here that Peter Ford completely forgot that he was doing 70 star and he's trying to do 120 star, because he's going back for a lot of coins, you know, because he can't complete the route without it. He really thought he was doing Wet Dry World 100 plus Reds, but it's actually Wet Dry World 100 plus secrets.
And I'm going to correct you right there. It's not Peter Ford doing that. That is Bobby J.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I was confused for a second, but yeah. I understand now. I think I know what he's doing, but I don't know if he has enough coins. I don't know where he would get the coins.
He has enough now, but it's very telling that he just did not understand. Maybe he's been doing a lot of 120 lately, but definitely this is the sort of point where you take the very experienced players versus the less experienced players, where they sort of when they mess up a route, they're very inexperienced in the way that they sort of approach backups, you know. When you see a very experienced player, they approach backups in a very methodical way. They know exactly where this certain amount of coins, like say I'm missing 10 coins, I know which box can give me 10 coins. Sort of situations like that.
Yeah, and I believe someone's mentioned, not just now in the chat, but a while ago, that he hasn't played Super Mario 64 in 2 months. So this is actually outstanding.
I guess, yeah. It's just very...
Yeah, sorry.
it kind of separates the good players from the better ones, where you understand backups in a way that you know exactly how many coins are where, and the movement options that can allow you to really bring yourself back into the race and give you a certain amount of coins to complete the 100 without being too far behind.
So Peter and Tippy's gonna miss his opportunity for Lakitu bounce and has to go for a backup strategy. Lakitu bounce is another really technical trick which requires you to do a specific inputs in a specific order to get the Lakitu to go where you want to. So
it looks like it was too sharp there, where he couldn't even get the Lakitu to come near him for the bounce.
Yeah, definitely. So Rainbow Ride, or as I like to call it, Rainbow Cried. It's a really hard stage. You can lose massive amounts of time here. And his best possible time right now is PB pace, so it's interesting to see how nerves are going to kick in for Peter. I think it's PB pace.
Oh, Peter gets a... Oh, God. Unfortunate. Yeah, there's issues with Lakitu bounce where sometimes you hold back a lot, and then that suddenly causes the Lakitu to sort of hit a bonk bounce with you, where you just fall off instead of bouncing off of him. It's a very specific movement issue, where sometimes you just hit him and sometimes you bounce off of him, and it's a lot of cause for distress for a lot of mid-level players, where the Lakitu can kind of just determine how your run goes because you don't understand. His movement can be very specific, very confusing.
Yeah, definitely. I just got a nab on Peter's stream, but fortunately it's finished. It looks like he's going for Lakitu bounce again, and unfortunately doesn't miss it and causes a death.
Yeah. It's a hard trick because it's very variance optimized. It's very, you know, just the slightest bit of holding back or holding forward can cause a sort of issue with Lakitu bounce, and you're just suddenly faced with either bonking off the Lakitu or being so short in that ramp that you kind of just fall off really fast. It's a hard trick. It's the kind of trick that separates certain players from each other, just understanding the nuances of Lakitu bounce and how it works, and what you can do to make it work. And you see Peter Ford here trying to go for the backup swing in the breeze, and he gets it. The triple jump. It's a very, that itself is a very specific trick where if you miss it, you can kind of just fall off and lose even more time than just missing Lakitu bounce. Rainbow Ride is a very, it's a very punishing stage for sure. Even if you're on PB pace, if you're on whatever kind of pace. And we see Peter get the Lakitu bounce here, and he gets the pole grab, and he's looking pretty good right now.
Yes, so Bobby is now going for THI Reds, which I predict. Oh, and he died. Unfortunate. Just movement mistake, probably nerves.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame for Bobby because THI Reds is a very punishing star to do by itself, you know. In a 70 star, you're always doing it by itself. And THI Reds always offers a very specific, a trade versus punishment sort of interaction where if you miss it, you gotta respawn, go all the way up, triple jump to the cave again. And it's a very punishing star to do, and we'll see if Bobby J gets hit here again. You see here he's kind of pausing to try to get a good camera angle because in a lot of Mario stages, and when you appear into a new stage, you want to get a very good camera angle. Otherwise, you're gonna get kind of screwed. And you see Bobby J here gets a very good THI reds. He takes it very safe, loses a bit of time, but he manages to get a good angle on it. He gets the star spawn, and he gets it.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of things, Peter Ford did manage to get a pretty clean 100s, apart from some RNG and movement mistakes, but overall pretty decent. Looks like Bobby's going to be going for Mountain Clip, and I think he got it, I believe. Yes, he did end up getting Mountain Clip, so that's really good. Decent time save, especially for new runners, getting Mountain Clipper, runners that haven't played in 3 months.
It's a very sort of nuanced trick where you can suddenly just start falling off the edge of the stage. They kind of they have sort of issues with the log where they hit invisible walls near the log. It's very good to see Bobby J kind of understand the nuances of Mountain Clip, even though he misses the waterfall star here, but he's very aware of the invisible walls and such of issues with this stage, because TTM is the invisible wall kind of stage where you can suddenly be jumping towards a star and then you'll just get hit by the invisible wall and then fall down and lose all your progress. So So Bobby J, we see here, he really likes going for the bounce off the fly guy, which is a sort of consistent strat, but it's also slightly slower than just standard movement, going to the log and then triple jumping up. But we see that Bobby J really likes to go for these consistent, safe movements, and we see Peter try to go for these unsafe, slightly risky. We see that Peter Ford here, he's really risky with his DTC strats, and that's kind of what makes or breaks these players, is that, you know, you go for risky plays, you're really good at them, you try to set yourself apart from people, where you do these extremely risky strats, make or break. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you don't. And Peter's looking like he's really not failing much with these strats. You see here going for a roll inside a cage. He's very successful, 68 stars, and I don't really see how Peter can be stopped here. He's unstoppable right now. He's doing really good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Peter has missed out on his PB, but still going to be a decently good race time for his skill level.
A lot of high skill level players, you know, they when they do like races and they're doing really good in them, they're not necessarily close to their PV, but they're doing very consistent, and they hope to be very good against these inconsistent players or people that don't play that much, that are not they're pretty good, but they don't play that often. And so people like Peter Ford, they're consistent, they play this game a lot, and they just try to do what works best for them, and try to build a slow, consistent lead over their competitors. But once you see Peter Ford get to these much higher skill level players and people that have played a lot longer, you'll see him try to do more make or break strats, faster strats, risky stuff to try to build a slow, consistent edge over people he's playing against.
Yeah, and as Peter goes through Bowser in the Sky, I'm really hoping to see him moving right side TGWK, because that's one of my favorite tricks in this game.
Let's see if he goes for it.
It looks like he's going for left side, unfortunately, but still going to be a decent trick if he gets it. And, he does unfortunately miss left side TGWK. He missed it the first time moving and then went on to miss it again standing still.
It's a shame.
Bobby going for the monkey. Interesting strategy.
Yeah, you don't really see that much. You only see that in 120 star runs usually, but you know, it's you can't really blame him for going for it at this point because it's a fine shot to go for if you want to skip TTC 100, or for certain players you want to skip Cruiser and Rainbow Ride. It's a very
yeah, because he didn't do Toxic Maze in HMC, if I recall.
yeah, and I'm sure he's not gonna try to go for TTC 100. So
Peter with another mistake in Bith cost him a bit more time than I think he was hoping for.
yeah. You see Peter definitely trying to go for the very fast strats. You know, he's not too concerned about time wasting right now because he's 15 stars ahead, but he should also start to be worried about trying to flex too much, because you know when you try to flex too much sometimes it bites you in the ass, you know what I mean.
Yeah, missing TGWK 5 times in a row, definitely not good.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's at a point now where he's like, okay, this is a race, I'm really far ahead, I'm going to get TGWK, because that's how I would be.
Exactly. But maybe he should right now opt for a very not necessarily super slow, but just a very safe strat in Bowser in the Sky, because this level we all know is very unforgiving. It's the make or break, even for players like Chizo5, just people that are very... Oh, we see Peter die.
Yeah, Peter did die twice. Definitely subpar Bowser in the Sky for his skill level. While in Snowman's Land, I've seen Bobby do quite a few strategies I've never seen before, one of which is he didn't go for the triple jump wall kick or even the side flip wall kick to get on top of the Snowman's big head. He just did it the casual way.
Yeah, a lot of players in Peter Ford's skill level, Peter Ford has one of the best Bowser in the Sky golds and Bowser in the Sky strats. Peter Ford loves this level, and he tries to optimize himself the best he can. And it's looking right now that he's having a lot of trouble with this stage.
He's doing the stage of Mario Cam. Peter, come on. I'm sorry.
And you know, just from interaction with Peter, you know, talking to him, he's very experienced at this level. He has one of the best single segment runs for this level, and he's shown that he's not invincible in this part of the stage that he does so well at. So we'll have to see how he does here, and if Bobby J can catch up necessarily. He's kind of far away.
Great post-game interview.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bobby J just got what I would say is the hardest star in this game, the Ice Bully. You have to use a really specific control thing where you dive into the bully. No, I'm kidding. It's one of the easiest stars in this game.
Yeah, Snowman's Land is one of the shittiest stars in Snowman's Land, just because of the sheer fact that if you're too right, if you're too left, depending on your speed, too fast or too slow, you can kind of just hit this unnecessary, unrecognizable bonk, and you can just kind of get tilted by Snowman's Land compared to a lot of other stages. And
what is Peter doing? He went and changed Lakitu's cam to fix, so I'm assuming he's just messing around at this point.
Yeah.
I don't blame him, especially since going into this race, the skill level of the... I don't know what Bobby just tried to do there. I think he broke the shell, so I think he tried to go for a strategy where he grabbed the red coin. I've never seen that or work or seen that attempted at all, so I'm assuming he just tried to go for it and see if it worked.
Yeah, I think Peter's just trying to get comfortable here rather than trying to flex on this competition, because he wants to get a very specific, safe strat to end this race rather than, you know, he's not... Peter Ford's not the the type to try to humiliate people. He's just trying his best. He tries to go for the best strats that he can, and sometimes the best strats are very difficult and they have a very high risk to reward ratio, you know.
Yeah, he does end up dying there in Bowser throws. I'm assuming he's just messing around, providing... I mean, he is technically performing in front of an audience, so I don't blame him for the strategies he's going for, or just the memes. So, Bobby now going up to Tippy. If Peter keeps this up, like, Bobby could... he could catch up.
He could, yeah, for sure. You can never rule that out. It just depends on what Peter Ford is. I know Peter Ford has one of the best Bowser 3 throws records. He's definitely in the running for one of the best of those. So
yeah, it seems like he is now trying to go ahead and lead off.
Exactly.
He does get that throw by bouncing it off the falling thing, which I always think is a cool swag strap.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to showcase right here how good his throws are, and he gets the third one.
And that's gonna be time. He's not gonna collect the star. If he runs off, no, Peter, run off and I'll give you $1. I promise. I'll donate. And he does end up collecting the star as Bobby is now in Rainbow Ride getting the red points. I guess we can try to get Peter in for a post-race interview, which should be moderately comedic.
Definitely, yeah. We get a 59.06 from Peter Ford. We have a Bobby J still in Rainbow Ride, 60 stars in. And Peter Ford just has a very clean race. Very comfortable for him. You know, he went for a lot of strats that were really fast, and he didn't get a bunch of them that were very fast, but he was very consistent, very persistent as well, trying to get these strats. Let's see if we can try to get Peter Ford in here for a post-race interview.
It seems like he said he's not going to be doing an interview, so I don't quite know what to do now, so I will find out.
I'll get him in here. Don't you goddamn worry about that.
So, Bobby's now going for the Toad Star, and he'll be entering TikTok clock, so he should be finishing up relatively soon.
Hello, Peter Ford. Can you tell us about a bit about your reasoning behind this race? Certain strats you went for versus certain strats you didn't go for. What you thought about this race in general, the competition. Can you tell us a bit about that?
That's all me.
I don't really have anything to say. Just gonna order. I'm just gonna order a pizza, smoke my mom's weed, and drink a 2-liter Coke. That's it.
Can you tell us a bit about your strats specifically upstairs versus anywhere else? What you thought about? I know you were checking to see how far ahead you were upstairs and what your strats reflected towards that.
I mean, I just went for the strats I usually go for, and clearly it didn't work out quite well in Rainbow Ride. I was on PB pace by 20 seconds entering Tippy, and then
you were going really good up until Tippy for sure.
Yeah, some idiot in chat jinxed the run. So what's his name? His name White Crimson X97. And I get a fail fish in the chat for that guy. Thank you.
Okay, so do you want to tell us about your Bowser in the Sky? Because those were some interesting plays I saw. I'm not sure if that was a safe strat or maybe you were trying to save time.
Yeah, were you just dying over and over again to get a really good sky? Because I know you have like a really good sky compared to a lot of people, you know. And you try to go for the best strats and the best throws at that point.
I was just shit posting. I didn't care about the run anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, you had a very healthy lead over, so.
Did I? I wasn't watching him at all.
Yeah, he's at 65 stars now in TTC, so I mean, he's definitely doing good because he hasn't played Mario in 3 months. This is his first time back.
Okay, well, yeah, after Rainbow Ride, I didn't care about the run anymore, so I just wanted to finish. I wanted to get a good sky, but I don't know, I was just trying to entertain the crowd. You feel?
Yeah. It seems like Bobby does fall down TikTok clock, but fortunately does not result in a death. He is trying to go for the star with time on, which I thought was an interesting choice, especially for a runner of his skill level. But nonetheless, it looks like he's doing decent.
Yeah, I wasn't watching at all, but
I think you did pretty well, Peter. You know, you had a very a very consistent run.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that when you try to get towards these higher levels, for sure, that there's gonna be people that try to, you know, try to flex on you in Tippy and upstairs. But
yeah,
it's all depending on whether you can, you know, you can show up in these levels, and I know you can based on your Tippy performance.
Yeah, I just had
an
an Alco back Narco Tippy this time. So odds weren't in my favor this time, but maybe next time.
Don't worry, it was very entertaining. I really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. Can't you tell?
Absolutely. This was a very good race. Very fun.
To be honest, I was really hoping for a moving TJWK, but you made up for it by missing TJWK about 7 times. So.
Yeah, TJWK. It's orange. That's RNG. Everything in Tippy is RNG. That's why I messed up bounce that much, because it's RNG.
It's probably because you used the US version. They say that Japanese version has a lot better RNG style. So
yeah, I heard that too.
Probably would have beaten Cheese. You know, Cheese Bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
So we have Bobby here trying to finish up his run. He's going for the star above the block thing. Wow, I'm a terrible commentator. He's going for this star, let's just say that.
Oh yeah, that one. I know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you what it's called in a moment.
Stomp on the thwomp.
Yeah, that. If it's not obvious, I haven't done a 70-star run since January, so I'm trying.
It's been almost a full year.
That's fine.
Yeah, with only 4 stars left in TTC, he's looking to finish up pretty soon, assuming he doesn't have a godlike sky like Peter just did.
Yeah, I had an 8-minute sky. About 6 minutes off my best split. Not too bad, though. But yeah, my PB's a low 52, and I was on low 51 pace in Tippy, then I just shit myself. Crapped myself, yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry for the kids watching.
You see Bobby trying to go here for a time moving, but he's still trying to go for these time stop strats during time moving to try to save time. But he's having a lot of issues with the movement leading up to these strats, where you see him. It's just
we don't have anything else lined up for Speed Gaming 4, so we're going to continue commentating until Bobby finishes his run. There's also another race going on in Speed Gaming 2 if you'd like to check that out.
Yeah, and I'll be racing Zarflon later tonight. And
yeah,
that'll be a really good race. Hopefully I'll get a 59.
Watch Pete versus Zarflon. That's going to be the best race yet in this entire tournament.
There have not been a single good race so far. This will be the start of good races.
Yeah, and don't worry, I won't be commentating that race, so you won't have to mute your sounds.
Yeah, I wanna try and get my boy J-Mill Gaming on the commentary. So
You want to watch any race in this fucking tournament, dog? Is Peter Ford versus Zarflon. That is the race. That is the race today at 9:30 EST, Eastern Standard Time. You watch Peter versus Zarflon. That is the race to watch.
Okay, so with only 3 stars left in TTC, he's looking to... I mean, I don't know what his PB is. What's his PB? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
It's like a 104 or something, and I don't have a timer because we're using multi-twitch. So I'm just going to assume he's on decent pace.
Why are you using Khadgar? Khadgar is objectively better than everything is objectively better in Australia. I've never been outside of Australia, but I know for a fact everything is objectively better there. The Domino's pizza's better. We don't have Burger King. We call it Hungry Jack.
Hungry Jacks.
Everything's so much better there.
Burger King is Hungry Jacks in Australia, boys. Remember that.
Remember that Canonless is 100% consistent. And that
I prefer OG Canon lists because I run on keyboard, and to be completely honest, I get it more often than with stock folder setup.
My boy
My
stock
life is a
folder.
Okay, so with only 2 stars left, he's looking to finish up this run pretty soon. Those last 2 stars he has in TTC for this route aren't too difficult, so he should be fine. And he does end up missing the jump there, so he will have to redo that star.
You know, speaking of Australia, shoutouts to my boy Jeebus Killer. If you've never seen Small Ball and Plespy perform, you go to his channel. He gets that 100% of the time. My boy Jeb. How many viewers does this have?
I'm not quite sure.
Looking at the viewer list, it's like a couple hundred or something.
Oh great, I've embarrassed myself in front of more people than normal. Okay, so only 1 star left for Bobby and TTC. After that, it will be heading up to bits, so hopefully he can do better than 8 minutes. I'm counting on it.
And why you gotta do me like that?
You know, I think this race should only count the bits time, and he jumped off. Okay, interesting. I'm assuming he didn't stop time. To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. But again, his last star, and then he'll be moving on. So Red's a decently easy star. He is going to go for the side flips, which is about 10,000 times better than I can do it. So that's pretty good. Pretty consistent starts. It's not hard to get the star. It's hard to do it fast, and he seems to do it pretty well. So he'll be moving on to bits. So based on his routing choices prior to this entire run, I'm just going to assume he's not going to be doing TGWK, but I could be wrong.
Now, I'm gonna open up the stream. See what's going on.
Interesting gift playing on Peter's stream for your enjoyment, of course.
Oh, that was an accident. Oh, I'm sorry. Very solid start to Bowser in the Sky. Man, what a nut. This is certainly better than my bits.
And he does end up doing the faster version of the non-TGW take strat. So if he can do Bowser throws, this will be a pretty solid time.
I'm guessing 113.
I don't have a timer open, but still going to be pretty solid, especially for 3 months without Mario. And my PB is a 149, so can't complain.
In 120 star?
Oh no. 70 star.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I thought it was 120. Yeah, we all start somewhere.
Yeah, Jack did 2 runs. Like my first run was me learning the strategies, and Jack was able to finish 2 runs before I could finish 1.
Dang, he capped it on you there. Gave you that word.
Pretty good Bowser throws so far from Bobby. Looking to have less than 8 minutes bits time.
This guy's a nut.
And that's going to be time in just a moment. Really solid Bowser in the sky compared to his other mistakes in the run.
Is he getting a 112? I guess he's getting... What a legend. 112. His insane pace.
And that's going to be time. So I would like to thank everyone for watching the stream, for Speed Gaming to allowing me to commentate even though I'm awful at it. For the runners and for... pardon, I'm going to sneeze.
He got a 112.53.
Woo!
Yeah, what a nut.
Yeah. And thanks for Najee for also commentating with us. Again, right now on Speed Gaming 2, there's another race going on. Peter's going to be in another race again tonight, I believe. And there's also going to be some Super Mario Odyssey races, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I love Super Mario. You know, speaking of that game, let me take a moment to shout out my boy, JP Madison.
JP Madison, Odyssey runner spectacular himself.
He is a moderator of the Super Mario Odyssey Discord server. If you even think about posting something that is just terrible behavior, he will delete your message and ban you from that server.
That's right.
Saiyan got Odyssey the day he camped out his Toys R Us for a whole week waiting for Super Mario Odyssey.
That's right.
The whole game in one day. My boy, Super Saiyan Perry Madison.
Son of Kimberly.
And Perry, brother of Zachary. And Spencer.
Mario, the power of the stars is restored to the castle.
I feel like commentary today, especially Super Mario 64, has been more extremely banterous, but it's okay. We got our job done.
Thank you all for watching. This was a very good race. Speed Gaming 4, Peter Ford versus Bobby J. It was a very good race. Peter Ford showed a lot of what makes him good today. Bobby J tried his very best, you know, tried some very good strats in and out of his skill level. It was a very good race. And we from this, we can see a lot of very good races coming here from on forth for very good times.
Correct. Najee. My boy
Absolutely.
Najee. What a nut.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Runners were great. We're going to go ahead and finish up the stream. I'll probably be commentating more in the future. Not sure about Najee. And again, Peter will be racing later tonight. So thank you, everybody.
Absolutely.
I'm going to head out.
Yeah, I'm going to go order a pizza and drink a 2-liter Coke right out the bottle. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you all.
Shout outs to Simple Flips XD.
Yes, I agree.